Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy back with another video. And shout out to everybody who's watching and supporting the channel. Now, what I'm actually going to be talking about is Desi Banks and him getting shitted on by the cancel culture and just pretty much all the black people that are users on that motherfucker. And where I'm talking about is mostly on Twitter, because that's where like I was doing a lot of research on this guy and I was trying to see what the hell is going on, because I was noticing he's trending all over on Twitter, and I'm starting to see him getting shitted on by damn near every black person. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm doing my research. I'm scrolling down as to why why everybody's talking shit about him, saying he's a coon and whatnot. And then you see the tweets that I'm actually going to be putting up. Y'all should already see this by now. Where the first tweet that he came out saying, change never comes through violence. Violence creates more problems. And then the next thing, like a couple hours after that, like today, like literally today, early this morning, he released this meme that you should, probably see. It's probably really small, but on the top you should see, well, it should say this is a protest, and you see the picture of Martin Luther King, his wife, and him marching to protest. I forgot the particular name for it, but it's a very historical protest for Black history. And then you see in the bottom, which says this is a crime, where you see black people looting Target. And he actually used this picture in a couple of videos that shows black people, well, mostly specifically black people, looting Target. And Target has been turned upside down. Like the whole city's been turned upside down. Like a couple of businesses has been looted. They've been breaking into and shit. AutoZone, a lot of these mom and pop businesses, a lot of them is getting turned upside down. And now you got people on social media, talking shit to him, like you see on the left side of the right picture. Like you see a bunch of people like Nathan Allen Purtle or Purdy or whatever you call him. And you got a bunch of people talking shit to him, saying, damn, the one time you missed Desi, delete this before everybody wake up. About to lose all y'all little gas trying to appease the wrong folks, Desi. And they just pretty much clowning this dude all day today. Like literally from early morning till now, for the time of this recording, they've been talking shit about this guy. And I'm trying to see, why. Like I'm trying to understand. Look, I get why he said this. I get why he's saying this, because when I was younger, I used to have this mindset to where if you do what you're supposed to do, you'll get the results that you desire, or you'll get the, like, if you actually do the right things, like go to school, get some good grades, get a degree, you'll get a good job, you'll start to, get more happier, you start having family, like pretty much how people back in the days used to operate. Like you get a good job, you start to work for that same job for X amount of years, you retire that job, and then you live the rest of your life, happy per se. But that's not how it is now, which that is a long time ago. And it's already so bad at this point where you'll be very lucky if you're able to work at the same job for more than double digits. Like you'll be very lucky if that happens, because the economy is so fucked up now. Also, really that's all before this whole COVID thing started. Now, a bunch of businesses is starting to crumble and didn't even last more than a month into the pandemic. And it definitely shows how bad the economy is because of coronavirus come in and fucked everything up. Like you start to notice how a lot of these businesses operate to where a lot of these businesses are very rich in credit but very poor when it comes to money, which is always bad. Like if you run a company and you don't have a lot of money but you can rack up as much credit like it's no tomorrow, or you're not even trying, you're still able to get you're able to get a lot of credit in your sleep, and that's a very bad, bad thing to do. So you got that shit going around, and then you have people like Desi into thinking that if you do the right things of what your parents or some of your elders told you, or what society tells you, is to, don't get in any trouble, always, go to school, get some good grades, go into a career where people will actually, accept you, and you'll get a lot of applause, and you'll able to live the life as a lawyer or doctor or whoever, and your life will be very happy. You'll get a family, you'll be very happy. Like you'll have those same old school, mindsets, and this is where a lot of young people, starts to mess up. Now, I did do a lot of research on Desi Banks. Like I try to go to Wikipedia. Don't really see much. I went to his website actually and look at his bio, and I'm actually looking at it right now, and it's saying that he is an Atlanta native holding a bachelor's degree in sociology from Georgia State University, and is actually inspired to pursue a full-time career in acting. And that's when he started his company called Banks Productions and all that. And I'm starting to see why he had the mindset the way he did. It's because he's those dudes that a lot of black people call him in the community, which is an educated lane. Like he's a dude that he's a clean cut dude. Like, he doesn't really get any trouble like that. He doesn't cause any trouble. He, goes to school, gets a degree, does the right things. And he's coming from a position of morality. And he's obviously heavily influenced by society and their programming, which is why you see him posting these memes saying this is a protest, and you see Martin Luther King and his wife and other people, black and white, marching with him. And then you see in the bottom where you see black people going into these stores, looting them, and leaving those businesses and other communities in ruins. So pretty much saying like what we're doing right now is we're acting like a bunch of criminals, and we're acting very illogical. We're just saying a bunch of stereotypical things that society portrays black people, especially black men, as to we're criminals. We shouldn't be people to be taken seriously, and they just a bunch of hooligans. And it's also really where it's coming from Desi's, because majority of his content is showing stereotypical things from black men that came from the hood, like how hood niggas operate when when they're with their boys, but playing ball, or how they operate when he's with, his baby moms, or how black men operates when they go into family reunions and shit, or how hood niggas operate when they get into fights. There's just a bunch of stereotypes from black people, but mostly black men, and how he's able to rack up amount of attention and money from those type of contents that he does, which helps him gets a bunch of brand partnerships, like TikTok and Google Pixel and things of that nature, and how his own company is able to produce a lot of writing and production content, and it just goes to show where, like, I'm not trying to shit on him. I'm not trying to shit on him, but we do need to understand how or where he gets his mindset comes from. Like, I mean, for him to say that change never come through violence and violence create more problems, he's not technically, he's not, all the way wrong, because when it comes to violence, it comes more bloodshed. But with violence, it does get a lot of shit done for the right reasons. Like, say if you have someone that actually killed your family members, and you actually took matters in your own hands and killed the same people that actually killed your family members, yeah, you're gonna be, locked up for a long time, but you did it in your head for the right reasons. So it's never wrong to fight for your own beliefs, or fight for something that you feel is the right thing to do. Now, I'm pretty sure if Desi was in that situation, you'll probably, let the cops, deal with those situations, and there's gonna be a good chance where those cops wouldn't really do anything, not just by them being racist, because that could be the reason as well. It could be, they could fall on, well, we don't have any real evidence against them, or we don't really have enough witnesses to prosecute them, so we have to let them go. And so if the police couldn't get them prosecuted, and he's on the morality aspect to where, if the law couldn't do anything, then there's nothing really else that I can do but probably, pray to Lord that justice comes in a different, justice, does serve in whatever fashion, or I don't know. But hopefully there's some good things that will come out of this, instead of someone on the other aspect will actually take matters in their own hands by probably preparing themselves by buying some weapons, teaching themselves how to shoot, teaching themselves how to fight, getting themselves in shape to where if things do when things do get real, they're prepared for it. And once that moment comes, they'll be able to take revenge on the people that actually done some traumatic events into your life, or cause some traumatic events in your life. My bad. So for me, for me, I don't really care about what Desi Banks does online or what he does in his personal life, because I don't really care. But one thing I will say about him is that it does look really bad on your part, bro. It does look really bad. Not just by what your ideology is and what your beliefs are. It's just bad on how you were able to get the way you are just by perpetrating yourself as a quote-unquote hood nigga, even though you're probably not a hood nigga yourself. because hood niggas don't go to college and get a bachelor's degree and, you know, goes to making a really huge business. I don't know how big the business is, but hood niggas don't really build businesses like that. You know, in the eyes of, you know, society, niggas are ignorant. You know, niggas don't do anything but toting guns and drinking 40s and shit. Like, you know, I'm just naming off stereotypes that white people say all the time. But for you, Desi, you make pretty much a living, you know, like pretty much making fun of hood niggas. Like, to be real, you do make a living making fun of, you know, hood niggas. And you're from Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm pretty sure a lot of hood niggas operate over there. And so I'm not really, and you shouldn't really, and you know, Desi shouldn't really be surprised that people are shit on him. And I already know how he thinks right now, because a lot of white business owners or how white government officials, you know, operate. Like, when things get real, they'll do whatever it takes to calm all this shit down. Like, they'll try to delete tweets, they'll delete anything from social medias, especially if they did something stupid or say something stupid. They will they'll probably go into these making announcements or go to these meetings and say, like, you know, what they'll try to, like, ignore or try to bypass, you know, certain questions that they'll go into their way and say, like, the mayor or the police, whoever, I forgot what this guy is, where a reporter was asking him, does the protest, you know, have something to do with you speeding up the process of charging, you know, Derek Chauvin? And, you know, that dude's face was red as a motherfucker, man. So it was red as a motherfucker, man. I forgot what the guy's name is. So if you guys actually know what the guy's name is, definitely put it in the comment section. But it was funny as shit, man. I'm mad I forgot what his name is, but it was funny as shit. Let me get back to the bio. But yeah, man. So Desi got a lot of explaining to do, man. He has a lot of explaining to do if he wants to get back into the good side of, you know, black people, because black people has a really good spending power, and if black people don't give you that type of resources, then you're pretty much, you know, really fucked. Yeah, you may be able to still be able to stay afloat, but you're not going to get back to where you used to where you get a lot of black people's, you know, support. And I already know that he has a lot of non-black, you know, people watching him, being his audience, being, you know, his followers and all that. And I gotta say this though, like, a lot of black people has stopped, you know, supporting him, because he did had over 1 million subscribers, and it went down to barely half a million. So it's like barely touching 500,000. So he's losing more and more subscribers on, you know, Twitter every minute. Like, he's losing, like someone pointed out, he's losing like over 1,000 people every minute. So I'm like, wow. And I understand, man, because of what he said, it looks really bad, and it's also the wrong time to say that shit. It's the wrong timing, man, because of how bad the atmosphere is on these Twitter streets, on these social media streets. So he got a lot of explaining to do, and I don't know what else to say about this, but you know, Desi has to do something. He has to do something, man, because the more he tries to ignore this shit and wait for it to die down, yeah, he's gonna lose. He's gonna have this is gonna actually tainted his legacy and his reputation, forever. Yeah, but if he actually, apologizes or whatever, it may get a little bit better, just a little bit. But if he actually is about what he said, he probably won't apologize, and I just gotta, it is what it is at that point. But yo, man, let me get out of here. This actually, I really wasn't going to. I actually wasn't going to be talking about this, but I had to, man. When I saw him trending on Twitter, so I had to see, what is going on, and I see why now he's trending, because what he did seems to be on the coolish side, on the eyes of black people. I'm not saying that he's a coon or anything, but this is what is portrayed by other black people. And it's kind of sad that you do one thing and you lose a lot of support, or damn near all support from your own race. That's what's pretty sad to me. Like, you do one thing, like literally you say or do one thing to where they don't agree with it, they will turn on you. So that's all I gotta say about this, man. I'll talk to y'all later, man. If you liked the video, definitely hit the like button, comment, and subscribe this video and this channel, and definitely hit the notification button. And I'll talk to y'all later, man. Deuces.